Ngirici, the Kirinyaga woman representative, joining us from a city center studios. Good morning, Honorable Wangui Ngirici.
Good morning, Brenda. And
also joining us in this discussion by way of phone is Honorable Jared Okello Nyando, Member of Parliament, joining us by way of phone. Mheshimiwa, I hope you can hear us. Good morning. All right, as you still try to get a hold of Nyando, Member of Parliament, Jared Okello, let me begin with the Kirinyaga woman representative, Honorable Wangui Ngirici. And you've heard that story by my colleague, Patrick Amimo, what Honorable Raila Odinga had to say during that interview in one of the local TV stations. Do you believe that Mount Kenya owes Raila Odinga political support come 2022?
No, that's a preposterous allegation, which I think Raila should now start staying away from. Actually, as people of Mount Kenya and Kirinyaga County, I want to say that we don't owe anybody any favors, or we have no deni that we owe anybody. Not Raila, not even my friend, the Deputy President. We don't owe them anything. What we believe in is the manifestos. What we believe in is what you're offering the people of the mountain and what your skills of leadership. Actually, if he's talking about the Kibaki Tosha time, you remember that time there was a lot of there were a lot of parties after the 1992 declaration of the multipartyism. There were so many parties, disintegration of into very small parties, such that there was no proper force in the opposition that was going to oppose Uhuru. I mean, to oppose the former President Moi. So. Actually, what happened, Raila only came towards Kibaki because he was the only force that was there to reckon with. That he was the only force that would be used to win.
All right, but he's not only talking about,
so, that was...
Honorable Raila Odinga is not only talking about the Kibaki Tosha presidential campaigns when he rallied his, political supporters, Kenyans, to vote for the former president, Mwai Kibaki. But he's also mentioned about the constitutional changes when he thought people from the central region or with him, they backed out the last minute. And he says that he is the one who's been betrayed.
No, he has not been betrayed at all. Remember, first he was in Kanu. And once Uhuru was brought into Kanu, he realized that he was not getting what he was going for. What I would only say is that he has been hungry for power since 1982 when he had brought about the coup.
Otherwise, right, Honorable Ngirici, at that point,
if we talk about the first, yeah.
Honorable Ngirici, at that point, we cannot say that Honorable Raila Odinga, allow me to be the devil's advocate to say that he was hungry for power and leading a coup. Those are your own statements. They're not the statements, that can be supported by KTN News or News Center.
About the 1982
I'd like you to substantiate. I'd like you to substantiate your sentiment, because we also need him. You cannot give statements that another person is not here to also defend himself.
Yes, sure. I actually appreciate him because he was in the second liberation, the fight for the second liberation. We agree, and so many other Kenyans were, okay? But what I'm saying, the 1982 issue is something that it is in his book. It's not written by me. It's in his book. So that is something that I have read, and that is what he has said.
All
that in 1982, what happened in 1982 is clearly stipulated.
All right. So let me bring in...
Matter of fact, I was just coming into, as we move, we first go fast forward, 2007 and 2013. In 2007, having agreed with Kibaki, we definitely expected him to continue supporting a government that was actually performing. But being in government, he fought government.
Right, so let me bring in your colleague,
Then
Nyando.
we went to 2013.
Honorable Ngirici, allow me to cut you short and allow me to bring in your colleague,
Yes.
Jared Okello, the Member of Parliament of Nyando constituency. Joining us by way of phone, and your colleague says that the Mount Kenya region does not owe Raila Odinga any political support come 2022, should he say that he's running for the top seat. Do you agree with that, or do you agree with what your party leader said, that, quote unquote, that Mount Kenya region owes him a political support come 2022? Okello? All right, looks like we are having a bit of some technical issues, trying to get a hold of Honorable Jared Okello, who's Nyando Member of Parliament and also a member of the ODM party. We just needed to pick his mind on what he has to say about that statement by Honorable Raila Odinga indirectly, somehow trying to say that the Mount Kenya region owes him a political support come 2022. But then let me continue having this conversation with Honorable Ngirici. And Honorable Ngirici, then it looks like, Raila Odinga and the second man in command, that is Deputy President William Ruto, are locked in a do-or-die battle for the vote-rich Mount Kenya region in their quest for the 2022 politics.
Yes, they are. And I want to tell you for free that Mount Kenya will only support ideologies and manifestos. That is what we believe in. Because above all, we don't believe that BBI, as we have been told by Raila before, is for Kenyans. And right now, in that same conversation in Kameme, he has said clearly that Mount Kenya owes him political debt, especially because of BBI. So, in other words, he's trying to tell the people of Mount Kenya, BBI is a conduit that is supposed to convey him to State House simply because he said Kibaki Tosha and his father said release Jomo Kenyatta in 1963. And I believe when Jaramogi said that, it was the right thing to do then. It was not about political debt. If it's about political debt, then this country is going to be a circus, because everybody owes everybody.
I believe you're saying political leaders owe other political leaders political support. Not everybody owes everybody, another person, something. But then let me bring in, I believe you're now able to get your colleague, Nyando Member of Parliament, Honorable Jared Okello, via way of phone. And I believe you can hear me right now. So we're talking about this whole political discussion, talks after your party leaders interview at one of the local TV stations, claiming that, quote unquote, that the Mount Kenya region owes him political support come 2022. Do you stand by what he said? All right, so it looks like we're not lucky to have him today here on a KTN News Center, but of course, we really appreciate that effort that he made of, agreeing to have this discussion with us. So at that point, we'd say, Asante Sana, Honorable Okello, though we didn't get your sentiments. But let me continue having this discussion with Honorable Ngirici on us. It was actually at a city center studios. And you're saying that the BBI is not what Honorable Raila Odinga claims as a way of bringing, development goodies also to the people in the Mount Kenya region, but he's using it as a ticket for 2022 general elections. But he's not yet come out clearly to say whether he'll run for that seat.
No, he has. He actually, when he went to Bama, he asked if Mzee aendelee, Baba aendelee. And lately, he has put it very clearly that he's going to be on the ticket anyway. So when I look at it, and when most people that I have spoken to in Mount Kenya, they have said, okay, we have looked at this BBI. Most of the proposals that are there, they are proposals that already are either in the Constitution or already are in parliament and already are being built on. So we are just wondering, the only thing that looks like they want to do really is just to expand the executive and entice people. And they don't know that Kenyans have literally moved on from the seats issues, and they have now stayed on the focused. Because when you talk about the seats and giving extra 5 seats, they are literally talking about tribal balkanization, because it's they'll put 5 tribes at the top, and then so what happens to the other regions? Because we have 42 tribes. So I expect 42 seats to be put so that I can believe that we are all representative.
All right. And there is a statement that the president gave out a few weeks ago about just having 2 regions lead the country. That is, you know, the Kalenjin and the Central region leading this country. He said it is a high time for these 2 regions to also, these 2 tribes, to leave that, to give that chance to other leaders, other political leaders from other tribes to lead the nation. And that did not augur well with some of the political leaders from, allow me to say, from the Tanga wing.
Yes, not only us, but everybody. In fact, someone from Kirinyaga will feel disfranchised. Someone from Embu will feel disfranchised. Someone from Meru will feel the same. Someone from the Rakanithi doesn't feel, because when you talk about the Kikuyu, you're only talking about Muranga and Meru, you see? And I mean, Muranga and Kiambu. You cannot even talk about, and by the way, when you talk about jamii mbili, in Kiswahili sanifu, jamii means your family. People you're connected by blood or by marriage, that is family. But as long, tribe is completely different. And for me, I would like to speak and say that Kikuyu is not Meru, is not Embu, is not Tharaka, is not anybody from Kirinyaga. Actually, we feel completely disfranchised because we are neither Meru, neither Kikuyu, we are Kirinyagas. So when you say someone from Kirinyaga cannot lead because of Kikuyu from Kiambu has led, it's completely out of displaced, actually.
All right.
So Kenyans are literally concentrating on agendas. We are concentrating on issues manifesto. We are concentrating on leadership skills and human skills that the person that we want to lead has.
And it's good you're talking about Kenyans having their focus on the leadership skills, matters development, which is a good thing. But at the same time, there is a question that has been posed, you know, put forth to the Deputy President, William Ruto. And the question is, when the Jubilee government was talking about their plan for the country in terms of development, they talked about, you know, digital learning, the laptop project. They talked about stadiums. They talked about infrastructure, roads. They talked about employment for the young people. And that is not what Kenyans are seeing. And Kenyans are asking the Deputy President, you are in the same government that you're saying has not delivered this for the Kenyan people. And at the same time, you're saying that you'll deliver it. You'll give Kenyans all this that you're talking about when you're in that seat come 2022. How realistic is that?
Look, Brenda, I believe the Jubilee government was on course. If you look at the infrastructure, if you look at the electricity issues, if you look at education part, Jubilee was completely on course. We had the Big Four agenda that was actually going to literally leave a complete legacy for Jubilee government, this country, and our president. But once handshake happened, everything was derailed. And we started now speaking about amending the constitution. We started running around singing reggae. We started running around doing things completely out of the focus that had been built right from the beginning. That is where we went wrong. And I want to tell Raila he will not run away from responsibility, because these last 5 years that was supposed to be literally committed by the Jubilee government to look at health in a serious way, to look at manufacturing in a very serious way, housing and also food security. It was completely run down, and now we are actually talking about going to mend a constitution that we have not completely completed into applying it according to 2010 after it was put in place. So if we have not gone through, and if we have not actually
Honorable
sure that the constitution has been
Honorable Ngirici, allow me to bring this conversation to an end because of time. It is 10:50, so I need to pave way for my colleague Noakip Kemboi, who's up next with KTN News Special, talking about the psychological effect of COVID-19 on students, university students. That discussion began it yesterday, still continuing today. Then later on, Leo Mashinani at 12 noon. For the entire team that has made KTN News Center a success, including your viewers and the men behind the scene, the men and the women behind the scene, I'd like to say asante sana. My name is Brenda Zedaradido. I see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.